Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston, this is Station. We are ready for the event.
European Space Agency, this is Mission Control, Houston. Please call station for a voice check.
Station, this is the European Space Agency. How do you hear me?
Columbus Control Center, Oberpfaffenhofen. I've got you loud and clear. This is the International Space Station.
Guten Morgen, Alex. Willkommen zu diesem Inflight Call. Ich habe hier neben mir sitzen den Herrn Bundesminister für Wirtschaft, Energie und Raumfahrt, Peter Altmaier.
I have sitting next to me
Pascal Ehrenfreund und
Pascal Ehrenfreund and someone from the ESA and Federal Minister
Guten Morgen, Herr Altmaier. Freut mich, Sie auf diesem Wege wiederzusehen. Guten Morgen, Pascal Ehrenfreund und Jan Wörner. Ich freue mich, heute direkt mit Ihnen verbunden zu sein, von der Internationalen Raumstation aus ins Columbus Kontrollzentrum nach Oberpfaffenhofen. Gerade schweben wir über Südostasien.
We're just crossing Southeast Asia. Hello from the Columbus Lab at the International Space Center. Good morning, dear Alex Gers at ISS. Because I met you personally, I am an enthusiastic follower of yours. You have managed to enthuse more young people for space travel than any other person since John F. Kennedy and the landing on the moon. And I hope you're doing well on the ISS and that you're able to proceed with your tasks.
Ja, vielen Dank. Es geht uns tatsächlich sehr gut hier
oben. Wir haben einige Experimente,
an denen wir schon gearbeitet haben. Wir
already
haben
done some experiments. We've done the first experiments that we've done successfully that are already back on Earth, and we've already got feedback. The German magnet experiment where we looked at magnetic fields outside of Earth, and we've looked at cells through the microscope, and these are all things, these are really magnificent. It's wonderful to hear up here that we get such positive feedback, and we're able to see things up here that grow on a flat Petri dish, and we're able to grow cancer cells in 3 dimensions. We'll be able to test cancer treatments more effectively up here, and it's wonderful to receive such great feedback. That sounds very interesting. And I just have a spontaneous idea. And once you're back safely on Earth in Bavaria, I want to offer you that we organize a live broadcast for all the young people in Germany where you can talk about all of your experiments and your experience. That's indeed a wonderful idea. It's very close to my heart to take young people along in my ideas. And yesterday we wanted to show them yesterday how rockets are propelled. And we've done experiments for students. We've looked at granulates, and it's important to me, and I can tell for you as well, to show young people all the possibilities in space, as even girls. So you can do up here what you want. You can become astronauts. The possibilities are there, and that's why it's so important to me that young people might see me as not as a superhero, but just as a normal person who has achieved this. And if young people, if the young people see me just as a normal human being, they can say, well, if he can do that, then perhaps I can do it too. If I achieve that, get that message through to them, then that makes me happy. I was very impressed with your description of seeing the drought all over Europe, and it's really struck young people and people of all ages. And I see in space travel to be able to show people the damage that we've done in the last 100 years, that we use technology to prevent our planet from being damaged irreparably. And for that, we need young people and people who are familiar with technology to be able to do something good for other people. And it's important to encourage young people to consider this kind of career for the future. That's true. It's true. From up here, we see a lot of things that are very beautiful, but others that you don't really want to see very much, such as the pollution of the oceans, drought, or the destruction of the rainforest. And you're completely right. And we try to do everything we can against it. And I'm standing down now, taking pictures in my free time. And I say, we have other things, sensors on board. I'm going to put a sensor outside, and it's an infrared sensor. And that's important for agriculture and for the disaster help. And these are things that we're able to do very well up here because we have the test laboratory. We can experiment before we build expensive satellites. Perhaps we will be able to build a satellite system, and that's one of the advantages of the space station. And we did something last week where something that we follow all over the world. It's probably not just about us, not about us, but we're also started an initiative for space safety. We want to safeguard our infrastructure in space. I have personally experienced I saw personally a little piece of a satellite hit our Soyuz, and nothing bad happened, but it made it clear to me that these things are possible, and that's why we need to keep the infrastructure in place. We have to, of course, I'm interested in your own well-being and that of your colleagues. I was sad to learn I was unable to deliver crumb-free bread to the ISS. What do you miss most on the ISS? And what things should be improved so that astronauts will be able to work in a more favorable environment? That's of course a pity that that was impossible. It would have been great for me. Of course, you guessed. Food is important. That you have to get it right if you're going to spend. If you're in space, and of course the human connections are but something we miss, but we manage. But something else that's important that we're trying. It's a test ship for life preservation measures that we need to take. and all the things we need to take along. We have to recycle water if we want to travel to Mars and to other places. And the next ESA-built life support rack is coming, and it's very important for the space station. And it's even more important if we explore other space even more. And it's exciting to be able to prepare space exploration for the future. And I've noticed during training the past few years, there's a feeling of a new adventures. You can tell that the engineers and the astronauts and all the other people in the control center are excited about going on. There's a whole different atmosphere. We all have the feeling that something important is coming together. We're in a phase where the ISS just before it was built, and this just the same as it was when the ISS was built initially, and it's very similar. And we have to be sure as Germans that we are a part of this. And now we have the chance. We have a European contribution to Orion so that we can go to the moon and perhaps even further. And we have the chance to be along and see things firsthand. And we have to make sure that we don't miss anything in the future. What can politicians as politicians in Germany, what can we do to keep the enthusiasm alive for the Lunar Gateway and keep people involved? We have to realize that we have two systems in the infrastructure that are very important. Of course, ISS, we're now in the return of investment phase, where we try to get new technologies and collect data, and it's important to support that. But we also have to get support for new technology so that we don't neglect one in favor of the other. We have to support both. We saw that with the ISS, it worked, and now we see a great return of investment with new technology, but also with inspiring young people. I was myself inspired by my heroes at the time of the Russian space station, the American astronauts, and these people are my colleagues now, and I thought that if they can do it, then so can I. And now we have to get technology to inspire young people even more and show them that we can achieve things that we had previously thought were impossible, such as the landing on the moon. And the fascination with that was enormous. And we saw, wow, we can do things that were just out of the realm of possibilities. And now we've taken this step. And if we take more courage and have the idea that, yes, we can, and we have to show people all the possibilities of space. Okay, and the ISS in half a day covers the same distance as from Earth to Moon. We owe it to ourselves that we have to be aware of the possible dangers that might loom out in the darkness of space, and we owe it to ourselves to explore it. Yeah, you said something very important. Sometimes it takes a little time, 40 years to make to build a highway around a city in Germany. And if we can prove that in space, realistic goals are possible, and that we can enthuse young people, then perhaps on Earth we can change things and solve problems. But I have another concrete question. I know that in October you'll take over as commander of the ISS. So you'll be the Chancellor of Space, so to speak. So I would like to know what your challenge, your tasks will be and how you are preparing yourself. Yes, indeed, this is a big challenge for which to which I look forward, and I've been preparing myself with training as commander for the last 2 years. And we have, before the flight, we have to make sure that communication is functioning well, that the crew has everything they need, that the training is sufficient but not too much. So I gathered some experience in that, and also the emergency training. Of course, you have to make sure that everything is coordinated well, is coordinated on the ISS. We're in an environment with an enhanced risk, and we have to prepare our team for this. And so, as commander, I will have the same, in a way, the same tasks as everybody else, but I'll have to do the experiments. But in addition, it'll be my obligation to make sure that everybody has everything they need for everyday life. And there are some things that you need to fix and to coordinate and to bring everybody into the crew. And then if there is an emergency, as commander, it is your job to get right to action without, rather than standing around. Of course, if there's a fire, I have to know what to do, and that's where the commander's authority comes into play. And then I have to have my priorities. This is the most complex piece of machinery that humankind has ever built. 1,000 people have been involved in building it. Now we've so far experience of 100 countries have been carried out up here. You have to imagine what wonderful collaboration this represents. This means that no country by itself, even a country such as Germany, would not be able to do this on its own. It's a wonderful thing, but it's also a big responsibility, and I look forward to it. And I'm going to try to do the best job I can. Dear Alex, we send you hearty, good wishes for much success. And now, for the remaining time, I would like to give the journalists and other people in Germany the opportunity to wish you the best. It was very nice to be able to chat with you a little bit. We saw each other a little while ago in Berlin, and I'm delighted to be able to continue. I want to say again how wonderful the support is that we get from Oberpfaffenhofen, from the DLR. It's a wonderful thing. The people who work there working so hard and with such conviction. So many scientists want bring their data and their experiments on the ISS, and we have to write. And these people work day and night in the control center, and that we are able to do our work optimally, and I want to thank them again and compliment them. And also my colleagues from ESA, who have managed in the last decades and last years, and received the greatest compliment from partners in space, that we are partners, equal partners, that they are giving the ISS such a complex machine, give it to European Space Agency. And that shows how much value people place on it. We, as a technological nation, need to take pride in that. And the people at DLR, and that they need to be complimented for having the courage to build this. And like you said, sometimes people dither over building a new street, but that we're able to put pieces together up here in space that we could.
Würde man denken, das kann nicht funktionieren.
Okay,
aber dieses Labor hier funktioniert.
This lab is traveling at 28,000 kilometers per minute. And we would not be able to carry out these experiments on Earth for any amount of money on Earth. And the people who said, this is what we support, this is what we want to do, these people need to be congratulated. And this is exactly the kind of attitude we need in the future. Thanks again to all who support this project, and I look forward to the next time. All the best to all of you from the ISS.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event.
Thank you, European Space Agency and participants. Station, we are now resuming operational audio communications.